In the New Testament book of Jude, he gives us several warnings, even some examples of those who were judged by God. And he says, you need to take these warnings seriously. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Thursday. In Jude's New Testament epistle, he is warning the believers by reminding them of the judgment of God, where he begins with judging Israelites in the wilderness. And then he turns to the judgment of his own angels in verse 6. Verse 6 says, and the angels who did not keep their proper domain, but left their own abode, he has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day. We know that angels are especially created beings by God to do his bidding. They are sent as messengers to God's people on the earth, like the shepherds. They are sent as armies of judgment, like in Isaiah chapter 37, where the angel of the Lord went out in the night and slaughtered 185,000 of the troops of Sennacherib. Well, the most of what we see the angels doing is worshiping and praising God, like the seraphim in Isaiah chapter 6, who say, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. They cry this out day and night. But we know that many of these angels did not keep their proper place. They rebelled against the Almighty God, who was their creator. Kind of sounds like sinful man in this story to me. And they chose to follow Lucifer, or Satan, who exalted himself above God. And Jude says, they left their own abode, which actually means they were banished from heaven and they were sent to dwell on the earth with Satan. Now they've become the minions of Satan and all the demonic forces that are working around us today. All of this came about because they chose not to follow the orders of God. They rebelled against him and they were punished. They were cast from heaven. Not only were they kicked out of heaven, he goes on to say he has reserved them in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day. Not only did they give up their glorious abode in heaven around the throne, they forfeited their wonderful job and their ministry of carrying out God's will in heaven and carrying messages and carrying out his vengeance on the earth. At the end of this world, they will be sent to that lake of fire, that bottomless pit, the place of eternal judgment for all who rebel and oppose God. So why does Jude bring up this story? It's just a fact of God's history. You see, he is seeking to remind us of those who had a glorious position and a ministry, even serving as God's bidding, but they forsook it all and they rebelled against God. Perhaps Jude is warning believers today to hold fast to their faith and even contend for the faith, as he says in verse 3, in the midst of this godly society where we are placed, so that we might be faithful.